Hello everyone, it's Agnes coming to you with another coffee filter flower, and I think I am making a rose. I've tried. Okay, so I do have coffee filters, but obviously some of them have a little tie-dye effect on it, and of course I have some green ones, and I do have the white ones that I'm trying to get to the order. So that means is I just gotta smoosh it and make sure that those factory-made wrinkles that fit perfectly in the coffee maker are just gone. So now you can see it's a little bit smooshing, stretching, and we all good. Okay, so now for this project, I do wanted to actually use 6 coffee filters, I think altogether, or maybe 7. Let's just see. So I do wanted to create a center that it's darker, and I do wanted to create the middle portion of the rose and then the other portion. There's going to be actually 3 cuts to it. So I decided to go with a deeper color. So I'm folding it into half and folding it again to half until I get to that tiny little triangle as we usually fold to make the hydrangeas. And all what I'm going to do with this one is just nicely round it off. And for that purpose, for that portion, I have 2 coffee filters. So look what I have. I have sort of a beginning of a daisy, I think. So all what I'm going to do now is cut those groupings of 2 a little bit lower, and I think my center is done. Okay, so now let's move on to a second portion, the second layer, the second cut, let's put it this way. So for this one, I do need 3 coffee filters. See, man, I just actually did that because I do like my flowers to be big. So for this one, I'm folding it 3 times and right before that tiny circle. And all what I'm doing right there is creating a heart. Wish I had a smaller scissors, but that's okay. I gotta be careful because you can't really see with the big ones, but that's okay. I've got myself a heart. Now I'm going just tip a little bit, cut a tip of that fold of the coffee filters, and again, try to separate the groupings, just like that, see? So I'm going to cut it a little bit lower, and the reason for it, you don't have to. I do like my petals to look on the looser side. So I do have, I don't know, clover like, and then one of actually the edges I'm cutting all the way through that opening. So now I have another grouping of another lighter ones that I am only folding twice in half to have that big triangle. And for this one, I'm just actually making, I would say, super wide, almost double heart. I mean, I do not know. Don't trust me. I'm Polish. Okay, so for this one, it's again, I'm going to clip the backing of it. Not the backing, the tip of it, just a little bit. And then, of course, separate my groupings and cut one all the way through. And then that will be it. So now it's going to be time to put all those cuts together. Okay, so for this one, we do need a wire. Obviously, you could use the wire. I mean, if you do not have one, you can just simply roll raffia. I mean, I've done it all with everything. So, and of course, a little bit of a paper towel rolls or whatever tissue you have. So what I like to do is I like to fold the tip of my wire and sort of like create a little tear, and then wrap my paper towel all around, and then secure it with the hot glue. And when I do this, and then I do want it to flip it back over to create a little bit of a bulkier top. But it's me. You could do it the other way around. You could create a little ball out of the paper and then just simply wrap it, make it easier. It's all up to you how you create that little sort of like a center of the flower. So now I'm going back to the ones that I've started with the smaller cut, and as you can see is I put a circle of the hot glue all around it, and I'm wrapping the top of my center of the flower with the coffee filters. And no, most likely you are right now wondering, why am I doing this upside down? The reason why I'm doing this upside down, because the filters, the coffee filters, gives that additional volume that actually I do not know, but that's how I do it. So I do wanted to make sure that where the cuts are, my petals are sort of glued on. So see, now I'm going to create, and it looks like a center of the flower. So now all what I'm going to do is just bend it over and then now start to, like I should do from the beginning. You'll be thinking, see, I did not glue that part. I gotta glue it up. And then, of course, try to twist it all over again. So here we go. See that the flower is telling me that I did not glue it all the way. This is what happens. I'm getting so excited about making flowers and then I just don't look. Okay, so here we go, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wrap it all around and create some kind of a little cluster. You could roll it off and, fold it once, one by one, the layers, but you know what? I do like this sort of interest inside. So now, because what I'm trying to do here is create this fully bloomed rose. So now I'm taking the ones that I made the hearts, the cuts out of, that looks like a heart, and I'm going to just simply start to wrap my my center all around it. And as you wrap, make sure that you pinch here and there so the flower has a little bit more, the paper has a little bit more of a movement. So here we go. I squeeze it. I do want it to make sure that it's all tight. And then I'm just going to continue with those other two rows. As I always say is every time you do it, make sure you pinch here and there. You just observe the way your flower looks in the front. As you can see, is I'm not adding the glue all around. I'm just adding in some places. And of course, watch out because the hot glue is hot. So don't touch where you're adding. And notice that every single time I add the hot glue, I make sure that I squeeze that area so the pleat stays together, the glue cools off, and the flower has that additional movement. But it's up to you how you do want to make that proportion. But here we go, I'm almost done. I did not want it to hold you too long through wrapping 3 layers, and I do have the center. At this point, you could start to sort of curl your petals. I'm not going to do it. I do have a different option. So now I'm adding the 3rd cut to it. That means those almost double hearts. And again, starting with a little bit of the hot glue and just rolling it all around. Again, pleating and hot gluing here and there. See, I'm almost done, and what I always like to do is when that last portion is to overlap those filters, and every single time you add the layer, make sure that they are interlocked versus overlap themselves. So here we go. I do have a beginning of my rose, and I actually do like it. So now it's just a matter of forming the petals. You can open them up like this and go one by one with a little pencil and just simply curl them to have that nice look to it. But you know what I'm going to do. See, I'm showing you that that's what you could do. But I'm going to just simply smoosh it. You know me. I'm going to squeeze it on the bottom and I'm going to smoosh it. This is me. And it's again, every single wrinkle makes that flower. Obviously, there are different ways the roses are looking. I like me some smooshed one. So when you do that, you just simply stretch it out a little bit to your likings. And of course, see, I did not like the outer corner because it was just too loose. So smooshing it and securing it. But I'm going to look at it later. Now let's just make some sort of a leaf. So for this one, I'm just going to take the coffee filter, fold it to this original small, sort of not the smallest triangle, the one before, and just simply create the tier out of that. So that's going to be easier. And then again, the same thing as with the other one, I'm going to separate the parts and try to pretend that these are leaves. Okay, so I do need the 3, and all what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of the hot glue and stretch that leaf-like petals out of green on the bottom of my rose. First of all, to secure it, and second of all, add that final touch. But of course, I've done it in the past. I've added a little with the wire, so when I was creating the stem of the flower. But I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to go back and fold the sections that I've cut, again in half, and install it a little bit higher on the side of my flower, just so it is visible, since my rose is super bushy. See, that's a lot of times is when you're limited by the material you are using with, but it's again, you just add the layers to have that little green peeking through. I don't want to have it a lot. I could have actually go and create the whole entire stem, but you know what? That will be a next video. At least we do have the whole idea of how you can make a rose out of 3 different cuts, and they were really made out of hearts. So now I'm just going to cover my wire a little bit, stretch my floral tape all around it, and I guess I'm going to call it a day and make some pictures for you. Okay, I think I'm done. A little bit of a pushing, stretching, and pushing, and smooshing, and the flower will be ready for the picture. So I cannot wait for you to see it a little bit closer to know how this flower looks. Of course, look at me. I'm just prepping for the pictures. So here it is. This is the rose we made. I hope you do like it. I hope you did like this whole idea of cutting different ways. And again, I do wanted to show you that, not only one cut, not only hearts that I used to show you all the time make one rose. I think you're ready to start cutting a little bit more. So I really hope you did enjoy this. And if you did, please don't forget to sprinkle and show your friends. Thanks again. Thanks for watching. Bye.